Toronto at the Wanderers grounds in the Nova Scotia capital. You're watching the NSL presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. I'm Signa Butler alongside Canadian Soccer Hall of Famer Amy Walsh for today's match, and we're over a third of the way through the season, still getting to know what makes teams tick a little bit, but certainly one player who makes AFC Toronto tick is back in the lineup, and that's Esther Okoronkwo.
Esther Okoronkwo with her eyes on WAFCON coming up at the end of July. So bad news for Milanovic and AFC Toronto. They might not have her for long, but last week she made an instant impact coming back from that meniscus injury, sizing up defenders. That's vintage Esther. And here, breakaway speed, getting a shot on net. Like, that is what she brings, and it's good to see that she seems to have shaken off a little bit of that rust, no lingering issues from that injury, and looks ready to go. Still on managed minutes, so expect to see her for no more than half an hour today, but well on her way back to full fitness, Sigs.
And certainly bringing a lot of energy as well, and you mentioned that partnership that she creates with whoever she's playing with up front. Certainly a player who has stood out in Esther's absence has been Lauren Rowe. We'll talk about her in a minute, but let's look at the starting 11 for AFC Toronto. And in between the sticks today, Sophia Manor getting another start. She has 2 assists on the season. How about that, Amy? And Nikki Small sliding into the number 6 position for AFC.
Yeah, we don't see that here in the graphic. It's a little bit more fluid than like 3 flat lines, but Small will play a big role slotting in for Chisholm, who usually plays that number 6 position, but a team that loves to throw numbers forward, and you've got that attacking punch with Rowe and Hunter up top.
And I mentioned Lauren Rowe stepping up in Esther's absence. She's got 4 goals on the season, and we caught up with her pitch side earlier. Lauren, you've doubled your goal output from last season with 4 so far on the season. Where do you feel you've shown the most development or maybe strides in your game this year?
I think the areas of my game that have improved has been my decision making, my calmness in the box, and I think Marco's helped me a lot with that. He's helped me grow so much with the team, and looking up to Esther and Kaylee, I think that's a big part of their game too, so getting to see them shine in those areas has definitely helped me improve in my game as well.
I know you played university at Cape Breton University, about 5 hours from Halifax. Do you have any friends, family coming to the game today, and how good does it feel to play so close to home? You're from Conception Bay, South Newfoundland and Labrador.
It feels amazing, honestly. I haven't seen a couple of them for a while since I've left. I left kind of abruptly from school, so it's so nice to see them again, and I'm really excited to see them after the game and connect.
Awesome. Good luck today and enjoy the moment. Well, as for Halifax, 3rd place in the standings right now, 3 wins, a draw, and a loss over the last 5 matches. But against Calgary, it was a win, Amy, but they gave up too many chances.
Yeah, much too wide open in the first half, not as well connected. Communication maybe lacking coming from Toth, but it was thanks to Toth that they were able to stay in this game in order to get the winner going the other way. If Calgary had been a little bit more clinical in their finishing, could have been a very different outcome. So things tightened up in the second half, and the game started to tilt in their favor, but need to do much better from the off today in this matchup versus a very potent attack in AFC Toronto.
Very consistent backline for Halifax this season. Cheyenne Allen among them, along with Julianne Valeron and Addie Wickers. So Halifax is starting 11 today. One major change to tell you about, and that's on the bench. Katie Barrett will step in for Stephen Hart, who's unavailable today. Katie Barrett coaching her 2nd game for the Halifax Tides for the native of Wellington, New Zealand. Foster Inman coming in goal for Annika Toth after a strong performance. Both of those goalkeepers this year. And earlier, we had a chance to catch up with the great talisman of Halifax Tides this season. That's Sarah Miller. Sarah, last season, perhaps the Tides were seen as underdogs in matches, but this season, a different story where you're among the favorite in some games. What's been the change in mentality within the team?
Yeah, I would say even though we were seen as underdogs last year, I mean, we had confidence, and this year we still think that we have yet to be respected in the league, how we know we can play, and we deserve to really be in the battle at the top of the table. And so the mentality is that we go into every game knowing that we can put on a good performance and show the league that we deserve to be at the top.
You've got 4 goals in your last 5 games. How have you and the team been able to unlock those chances?
Yeah, I think it's just been a mix of things. Like, the more we play together, the more we understand each other's strengths and how to work together. And we've just been gelling as a team and getting better every single game. And yeah, it's been really fun playing with these girls, and we just hope to keep the momentum going.
Awesome. Thanks for this, and good luck today. Over 20 degrees, and the kickoff straight ahead from the Wanderers grounds in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's the pride match between Halifax and the visiting AFC Toronto.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO. First game. First whistle. First goal. First jersey. First autograph. First favorite player. First away game. First big win. First time thinking, that's gonna be me. Firsts help us move forward together. Toyota, founding partner of the first professional women's soccer league in Canada.
We are deep into stoppage time. Oh, they must be careful here. Oh, no! But hang on, they are checking it. It's going to be in the hands of the VAR. The goal has been reversed! They have felt everything it is possible to feel.
Back at the Wanderers grounds as we get set for kickoff between the Halifax Tides and AFC Toronto. Kaylee Hunter looking for her 2nd goal in as many games. The 18-year-old from Calgary, Alberta, just getting going on this season. Meantime, it's Halifax looking to maintain their 3rd spot in the table. Julianne Valeron, one of their big goal scorers this season with 4 goals. Again, Signa Butler alongside Amy Walsh for today's call on CBC Gem. So glad you could be with us no matter where you are across the country. It's the Pride match in Halifax and a gorgeous day for football. I know a lot of you watching the World Cup, and now you can fill your boots with some NSL as well. Ball going forward. Benatti on it. Valeron in pursuit is Hunter. Valeron to Lemire. Shoved off the ball was Benatti.
Something that Brewster's done instantly. Like the type of impact she's had is she's really established herself that right side of that 3 center back system, or the back 3 for AFC Toronto, and is the physicality, the dominance that she shows, and it was just demonstrated there, and just pushing Benatti off the ball like it was nothing.
Jordan Brewster starting the season with an injury, so has just come in since June 13th. Been available for AFC Toronto, sliding into that role in the back. Still can't play a full 90 minutes, but Marko Milanovic saying about 70 minutes, 65 minutes a game. Provides an aerial presence as well up front on set pieces.
And will be tested today on those dead balls with the likes of Rhodes leading the line for the Tides. That will be a good battle to keep your eye on today.
So Burns back to Brewster. Sarah Rollins, who's played every minute for AFC Toronto in the back. Miscue there.
front-footed start for the Tides, looking like they're setting that line of confrontation pretty high and looking for those triggers to try to trap AFC, win the ball back in dangerous areas, which they just did.
And Lauren Rowe coming back to win the ball back for AFC. Small sliding into that number 6 role today for AFC Toronto. They're playing in their familiar vermilion vintage kits, going from right to left on your screen, and that 3-5-2. Small, we're used to seeing her pushing a little bit forward, being a creative force. And right now, AFC on the attack, and Naya Cardoza had to come in with a hard tackle on Kaylee Hunter.
You saw that straight channel ball come to fruition and really pay big dividends for AFC Toronto last match that they played, and it was Manor providing the assist on 2 plays very similar to that one. So the Tides have to be at the ready to defend those balls that are coming just right over the top.
Barnett, Valeron battling. That'll be a nice one to watch today. Cathro inside, Small, lovely turn. And kicked away by Lemire.
Nikki Small so good in that number 6 position. I prefer her more as a creative force, playing more of a 10 underneath the attacking line, but she's so versatile, she's so skilled that she can slot in there, and her ability to recover the ball. Not if she loses it, but if a teammate does, to swarm it and then to regain possession is almost unparalleled in this league.
Kai Novak. And a little poke through. That's Jordan Rhodes. And all the way back to Sophia Manor. Found Barnett quite quickly over top. Cardoza. Naya Cardoza making her first start since May 29th. Was part of that back four for Halifax the last time these two teams played, which was at BMO Field earlier in May. A 0-0 draw, so what will today have in store? Benatti tried to let it run over. Allen got a foot in there. And that's broken up by Toronto.
Good spell of play and build up by the Tides, and a great ball played into space just over the top by Cheyenne Allen to try to connect with Sid Kennedy.
That's a lovely ball through. Is Miller onside? Gets the cross in and cleared by Brewster. Show tangled up.
Marko Milanovic was talking about the great strides that Lauren Rose made in her technical ability and her decision making. She still has a ways to go, he thinks. She's got a much higher ceiling in what we've seen so far this year, but already on 4 goals compared to 2 last year. But he said she's always efficient for them, even when she's not contributing on goals or assists, because of her work rate and the standard that she brings every single match. So you're seeing a couple times now how deep she goes to track the ball and to double up on possession on that back press to try to win the ball back for AFC.
Ball played forward for Rowe, skips over top, and Cardoza will go back to Foster Inman. Tried to play that ball over top. led by AFC Toronto. Colby Barnett back on this left midfield side. We have seen her play a little bit in the back for Marko Milanovic's side this season.
Not my favorite, Signa Butler. It has to be
I was
said.
bringing it up so that you could talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's a phenomenal player, but she's best utilized for AFC out wide because of, you know, the way that she can go up and down the line. She can replicate the runs and the quality of service that she brings to this team. So I mentioned the attack kind of stalling out, and it was part and parcel with Esther Okoronkwo's injury, but it was also slotting Barnett in at the back. It brings her pace, but then you lose everything that she brings to this team going forward in the wing-back position.
Barnett has played all but 1 minute for AFC Toronto this year, a key member of the team, extended through 2027. The kind of pressure that she puts on both ends of the pitch. Just a work rate, so it'll be a good battle between her and Valeron on that side of the pitch. Here comes Zoe Burns now. Stepping in, looking for Novak, cleared by Wickers.
And the slight tweak I'm seeing in the way that AFC are defending, it's more of a mid-block. You've got Lauren Rowe leading the line, and you've got, Novak and Strats kind of tucking in. Actually, Stratigakis dropping a little bit deeper to almost sit in a double pivot with Nikki Small. So a little bit more insulation and cover in front of that back three.
There is Marko Milanovic, head coach of AFC Toronto. Would like to see his team play with a little bit cleaner in possession. He felt, they're coming off a win against the Vancouver Rise, a 3-1 win last week, but he felt there was times in the game where they could have been cleaner.
Yeah, much like the Tides versus Calgary we talked about in the pregame, AFC Toronto gifted some opportunities to the Vancouver Rise. And there were a couple of opportunities that they weren't able to capitalize on, and it allowed AFC Toronto through a more solid second half where they were much cleaner on the ball. They were much more intent with the way that they were possessing the ball. They were able to take their chances themselves and score 3 goals. But it was a real surge late in that game.
Rhodes closed down quickly. Finds Miller. Sarah LaMiller. And battling with Barnett. So Barnett has 2 players on that side to be concerned about today, and Valeron and Miller both with 4 goals on the season. Moving forward now, it's Kaylee Hunter driving through the space. Stratigakis, and offside is Kai Novak.
Barnett again just tracking back, unrelenting in the way that she puts pressure on those strikers and those wingers, and that's where a lot of the battles and maybe the game is going to be won or lost, Signa. With so much menace on the flanks for both of these sides. There's going to be battles, 1v1s, take-ons happening all over the pitch, whether it's Valeron and Allen shooting forward and trying to pin the likes of Burns and Barnett back, trying to dictate control that way, or how much can Barnett and Burns influence play going the other way.
Halifax throw. Through the back, over to Cheyenne Allen. Kennedy to Lemire. Tried to pop it over top, headed away.
And AFC had numbers around the ball, but no pressure.
But now they've got the pressure on. Novak in pursuit. Novak cutting across. That's Hunter, and it's in the back of the net. AFC Toronto in transition and makes Halifax pay. Kaylee Hunter scoring for a 2nd straight game.
It looked like going the other way with so much time on the ball for Lemire that the Tides were going to be able to capitalize. And here's Novak able to ride out that tackle and then just find Kaylee Hunter. We talked about the defensive shape, and especially in that back line, those 2 center backs in Wickers and Cardozo, who was going, who was covering, and everybody converges on the ball. Everyone's ball watching, leaving Hunter wide open, and she does not miss. So more clinical finishing, conversion rates skyrocketing for Kaylee Hunter over the past 3 or 4 games. It's a goal scorer's finish.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, Kaylee Hunter last season, 16 goals in the season, and a lot of people questioning, well, where's all the goals coming from here? And Marko Milanovic said, it's okay. It's okay. It's going to come. There's something coming here for Halifax. That's Benatti. Cho and Benatti. Benatti cutting inside, and Rollins had to clear that away.
Settling in AFC in their own defensive third into a 5-4-1. Lots of numbers around the ball.
Allen has some space on this left side. Closed down quickly by Novak. Cardozo got away with a little heavy touch initially.
So sustained possession for the Tides, but not really manipulating the opponent the way they would like. AFC Toronto are successfully keeping them peripheral. Tides need to figure out how they can break some lines, find those little pockets of space, find the feet of Benatti, and get the stretch and the depth of the attack, even though you've got a compact shape with AFC, and see if you can find Rhodes occupying Rollins and find some spaces and some runners off the back of that.
Throw. Bounces off Valorano for a throw in. Barnett finds Rowe. Rowe finds Hunter. Hunter tried to return the favor.
That quick little turn by Lauren Rowe is just a microcosm of how she's come along leaps and bounds in her technical ability.
They give the ball away, and lucky for Halifax, that was going to be offside anyway, and out for a goal kick. Over top, long over top, and Foster Inman just being careful that was on the other side of the post.
Not giving anybody a heart attack in behind goal there.
Rhodes provides the target up front for Foster Inman, and they'll recycle through the back. It's Rhodes again. Too much in the pursuit there. Free kick for the Tides.
But there's that line-breaking pass that's been required for the Tides as part of their build-up to try to pull apart this really well-organized structure of AFC Toronto. They'll fouled for good measure. They'll have Karima Lemire set up here. We know the range that she has in the quality in her service and delivery. Same with Julia Bonatti. Two slightly different options on the ball here, but equally as formidable on the dead balls.
Takes a step over this time. There's Bonatti into the box, looking for some targets, and that was Cardoza, the header wide.
To clip ball in, and you know you've got a couple of targets, as you mentioned there, Signa, whether you're talking about Rose as that classic old school center forward, or Cardoza, who's going in for these set pieces, the attacking ones, to try to make something happen, whether it's directly or heading that back across the face of goal to numbers on the other post.
Brewster, long ball over top. Hunter. To Stratigakis. This is turning into something. Whoa, just off the head. Well off the head of Kaylee Hunter, but the cross from Colby Barnett.
It's a well-struck ball, acres of space to work with. If you're Barnett, you could have even chosen to take a touch, taking that to the byline, but I think rightly so. She picks out Kaylee Hunter, who's almost surprised to find that on her head. So as the ball struck her, instead of Kaylee Hunter decisively heading it towards goal.
Small wins the ball to Barnett. Playing it through to Lauren Rowe. Rowe scored her first NSL goal in Halifax last season. Big memories of Wanderers grounds. Small. And out for a goal kick.
Just well shepherded out by the Tides defender there, but that is potentially what the Tides can capitalize on, is the inclination of a Nikki Small to join in to try to create those overloads on the flanks, but then she's vacating that space in front of her own back line, which is just a back three. So numbers being thrown forward between Rhodes, Bonatti going the other way. Can Halifax be quick on the break and try to take advantage of that vulnerability or just the space vacated by Small?
And her off her line. For those of you wondering, oh, I heard about Sabrina D'Angelo signing with AFC Toronto. Yes, she has. She's training with the team right now, the Canadian international. Has been since July 1st, just getting to know the team, and she'll be able to play as of July 20th. So they're going to have some goalkeeping questions. Certainly who's going to be playing in net. And that ball out of bounds for goal kick. But Sabrina D'Angelo brings the great energy. And Lauren Rowe down on the pitch here.
She turned, faced up towards goal, looked like she wanted to swing that in using her left foot, but just poked it slightly out of bounds, or out of bounds, either out of inbounds or out, and then came back in, and Cardoza, late after the whistle, brought her down. So she's okay to continue.
Headed up by Rhodes.
When AFC are choosing to throw numbers forward and really employ that high press, it's causing the Tides tons of issues. They're coughing the ball up. AFC Toronto are able to win the ball in dangerous areas and go forward.
Cheyenne Allen, the throw into the box. Wow. And Jordan Rhodes thought she might have got a call there. Was challenging for the ball. And that goes off the foot of Valeron for a throw.
Referee's right there. Clearly got her foot in first and was fouled. Should have been a free kick for the Tides.
Dangerous position at that, too. AFC Toronto's had to do a little bit of rotation in the back just due to injuries. Victoria Pickett, of course, had been playing on that right side. She's not available for today's game. So Brewster has been stepping in. That's an embarrassment of riches of sorts.
That's right.
Kayla Hansen ready to play again, available off the bench, as is Troy Soto, who was very influential for AFC at that center back position last year. Also available, but picking the right moments in which to insert her, because you don't want to, after 7 months, throw someone into the game.
Much easier to do with a more offensive player, even a midfielder, but when you're talking about your center back, like the keystone piece of that back line when you play a back three, very difficult to get a player in after 7 months for them to find their footing again.
And you've got a player in Sarah Rollins that's playing the lights out right now.
You've
so
got to displace
you gotta
Rollins.
display.
Yeah. It's not happening right now. She's been too good.
Skips over the foot of Lemire, trying to keep that in bounds. Does. Allows AFC Toronto to put some pressure on. Wickers trying her luck over top. Get it down by Brewster, but Benatti's got to watch out for Benatti. She'll have a shot on goal, and she does. This time it's over top of the net, but she's got 2 goals on the season, and both of them have been beauties.
Yep, the Benatti Buttes, we've seen them. She's been up to the task, and I'm surprised she's been given so much space. That's one criticism early on. The defensive shape for AFC Toronto has been outstanding, but the individual defending and the battles and closing down the space, especially in the likes of Benatti, whom they would have scouted and know that she can threaten outside the box with that shot. They need to close her down much more quickly. That makes sense.
And Rhodes takes the ball away from Rollins, bounces off a player, bounces off Brewster. And Kennedy sweeps the ball away, but it'll go out for a goal kick. Sid Kennedy of Fletcher's Lake, Nova Scotia. One of 4 homegrown talents on the Halifax Tides. Of course, the province watching intently. Jacob Schaffelberg. Canadian team and their run coming to a close yesterday against Morocco. Here comes the Tides now. Benatti having to turn back under pressure. Valeron. Not cleared yet, and Manor will have an opportunity to scoop that up.
We've seen Valeron get loose moving into the half space, whether it's Miller pulling wide. There you saw Benatti providing the width, and Valeron is able to slip through and find opportunities. Tried to slip it into Rhodes in the box, but she could have easily had to go herself with that left foot.
Near closed down quickly by Small, and that's a turnover. Novak, Rowe. Valeron got a toe on it. And Halifax able to play out of that situation. Has Miller, has to go back again. Cardoza hopping over top. Can Miller get there under the strong defending of Rollins? Nearly did, out for a goal kick. Pardon me, that was Rhodes.
The earlier ball from the Tides is on. I mentioned the organized shape, the structure of AFC Toronto. Good battle there. We're going to see more of that with Rhodes versus Rollins trying to occupy their lone center back is part of that back three, but whether it's from Lemire, who's dropping deeper to receive, or the opposite side fullback, the switch is on for the Tides.
And a timely toe there because Lauren Rowe is about to take off. Goes down in the box. And today's referee, Salma Flores de Roche, says nothing doing there. But that ball over top, that was trouble for the Tides. Even so far in terms of possession. It's 1-0 for Toronto if you're just joining us. The goal from Kaylee Hunter in the 12th minute. Allen up for the header. Quickly becoming a fan favorite in Halifax is Cheyenne Allen from Bear, Delaware.
It's better ball movement from the Tides, a lot quicker, looking sharper on the ball.
Cardoza try their luck on this other side of the pitch. Amir swings the ball, tried to go over top. Cathro able to get a header on it, but right to Valeron.
But that's the ball signal. More of that from Lemire will bring success. It was just a little bit under hit.
Rhodes tangled up again with Small this time. AFC Toronto holding their shape quite well through almost 30 minutes of the first half. Tides trouble to break it down. Ball goes through to Manor. Sophia Manor playing in her 5th game this season for AFC Toronto. Didn't handle that as well as she could have. And Lemire's got it. Cho, the shot. Blocked. Valeron cuts inside. Cuts inside again. Looking for a shot, doesn't have it. Rhodes blocked. Frenetic defending by AFC Toronto. No shots allowed. Benatti blocked again and cleared by Novak. Near over top has Benatti. Defended well by Small. And Valeron kicks it out for an AFC throw.
Well-timed tackle by Valeron and a good foray forward from the fullback there. Lots of efforts there, not the scary ones though, don't worry listeners. And she dekes inside, great touch, squared the ball to Rhodes. Fabulous first touch, but AFC Toronto numbers around the ball were able to swarm and just keep them peripheral, but attacking the box, whether it's at the feet of Benatti or Valeron, stay going forward. You see the closing down by Small and then the numbers around the ball by AFC Toronto. That's top class defending.
Milanovic wanted a call there as throw went down right in front of the Toronto coach's box.
Laying prone right at the feet of her coach. Arms outstretched, looking to the referee for a little bit of help, but shoulder-to-shoulder contact. Referee allows the play to continue.
Vickers back to Foster Inman. Foster Inman, 9th game of the season for her, 3 clean sheets, having a great year playing back on home soil. Her story coming back from a horrific car crash and nearly 2 years of recovery and back playing in Canada. The former Canadian senior international, been called up to a few camps before that injury and commands the box like no other keeper, Stephen Hart has said. He has great confidence in both of his keepers back there, but Foster Inman, just the way that she commands things, the leadership back there has certainly given her the nod this year. Annika Toth started the year with an injury, so it's allowed Foster Inman to come in and really establish herself.
The competition for sure, and that's what the Tides needed to do in the sophomore season was, to have a doubling up of positions all across the pitch, including between the sticks. So you know that Toth, now that she's back healthy, she performed very well last week away to Calgary. Really integral, I think, in getting a result in that match. So you know that they're pushing each other in training every single day.
You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. Flag up on the far side of the pitch. Just over 10 minutes to play in this opening half. Cathro shoving Miller off the ball. And just the one goal from Kaylee Hunter back in the 12th minute. Barnett. Strategakis to Brewster. And no one at the end of that ball.
That longer ball, whether it's from Manor or from Rollins, finding the feet of Barnett out wide on the left has been a pattern of play that we've seen develop here at Wanderers grounds, and I don't think the Tides really know what to do there as they're shifting numbers over, give the ball away, and AFC Toronto keep the ball, have control, but then are able to pick them apart and just go over that forward line of the Tide shape and the way they're sitting in their structure.
Belleron winning the ball back from Hunter. Spinati finding those pockets of space as she does so well. Cho as well to keep the ball, and there's a foul. Rhodes has been looking for one. Gets it there.
Cho's remarkable to watch just with the amount of shuttling she does, like next to Lemire, how smartly she reads the game, but then on the ball, she's able to withstand that pressure and escape it. Just tremendous soccer IQ.
Set piece specialists were on the ball. It'll be Lemire now. Benatti nearby. Lemire commands a little reorganization. She loves that left foot.
Wouldn't be surprised to see her try it from here.
Goes over top, looking for a target, and it's going to skip by out of bounds. Lemire started the year as one of the mainstays in the midfield, and we've seen some rotation for Stephen Hart's side because of injuries, because of situational and tactical reasons. And should mention Kat Jordan on the bench for the first time since the opening game of the season. She's expected to be an influential midfielder for the Tides once she gets back reacclimated. She had an upper body injury which took her out of the first game of the season against Ottawa.
That's instant threat and two-way quality in the middle of the pitch for the Tide, so they have a tremendous amount of depth in the middle of the park.
Something they didn't necessarily have last season, to your point about building, two people for every position.
And different profiles as well, because that's what we've seen, whether it's Lemire or it's Moo or it's Peterson, or you've got Cho, who's kind of your mainstay in there. You have a variety of profiles that you can combine depending what type of opponent you're facing and how you're managing players' minutes and their rest and recovery.
Brewster playing it in for Stratigakis. Pressure now on for the Tides. Manor clears it up the pitch. Cardoza. Nearly picked off by Cho. Small. Novak's had a lively first half.
And Rowe again was just flattened and is looking quizzically at the referee. I think it was just incidental contact. Maybe wasn't looking, wasn't aware of the player on her shoulder, but ends up on the turf again. I didn't even mention Sarah Taylor earlier as part of the Tides midfield, and we know the quality she brings instantly to set pieces and also just the way that she marshals the midfield.
2 assists on the season for Sarah Taylor. Ball played over top, looking for Hunter. Cardoza managed to get a foot on it. That'll go for a goal kick. Hunter thought otherwise. Cardoza, the Jamaican international, been dealing with an on and off injury this season, so hasn't been consistently in the back line. Been rotating with Annika Leslie back there, a local product. Ball given away. Barnett keeping it alive. Colby Barnett. Building back with Cathro.
That ball was on there for Rowe, but they elect to go back again.
Rollins over top. Barnett heads it into the box, and Foster Inman handles that no problem. Over top, bounces. Burns had to deal with that before Kennedy was on the case. And here come AFC Toronto. Stratigakis deflects off Valeron and right to the foot of Kaylee Hunter. Hunter looking for goal, and does, nearly gets that top corner.
You knew that she was just sizing up Cardoza to take her inside, to try to wrap her foot around it, to try to find that far right-hand post. Slow it down outside of the boot. You know she's going to turn her inside out and just isn't able to get over it adequately, but it had the pace on it, it had the power, and AFC are able to capitalize and go quick, go in transition because they're winning all the second balls. At the moment, the home side is second best.
Brewster long ball over top, mishandled by Wickers. Small able to bring it down. finding that key player. Cross rim and off her line before Novak could jump on the ball. Here comes Allen.
Great look there by Barnett to try to find Novak on the early cross.
Novak, good recovery to get back. Kennedy. Tripped up, stays on her feet. Allen, Kennedy. The cross in, no targets. Except for Cathro, got a head on it. Benatti now with time. And that'll be a foul called on Nikki Small in territory that looks pretty tasty for the likes of Benatti and Lemire.
Small looks defiant, saying I didn't even touch her, but this is good play by the Tides, getting into the box. That ball whipped in by Sid Kennedy. Cathro unconvincing on the header away. And then Benatti going 1v1. It's exactly what the Tides need to try to create some danger late in this half.
So Miller having some words there with Benatti. So Benatti and Lemire on the ball. Sophia Manor commanding her wall as well. Looks to be Benatti looking to hit this one. Just a few minutes to play. Benatti, the shot bounces off the wall and out for a corner kick. So corner kick coming up for the Tides.
Not too far from the area where the Vancouver Rise and Aeneas Ularbi connected on a set piece, a little bit further out, a little bit wider in that position, but maybe Manor was giving second thoughts to that one.
Corner in. Head away by Barnett. Rhodes. Cho got a foot on it before the ball could move any farther.
And that was a poor first touch by Novak, who needs to secure the possession at that point and get it wide, get it out of that dangerous area. About 25 yards out in a central area, gives the ball away, but is able to recover.
Ball shifted over to Allen. Can't get it by Burns. And no added time in this opening half, so a 1-0 edge for AFC Toronto thanks to the goal by Kaylee Hunter in the 12th minute. Any changes you'd like to see from both of these sides in the second half?
I think you keep the personnel the same. I think tactically, though, I think Stephen Hart and the Tides need to figure out how to pull apart a sound defensive structure by AFC Toronto, but they're getting opportunities on the break, and Kaylee Hunter is again showing her quality and being decisive with her finish.
So Cho, Naya Cardoza talking things out. Their team down 1-0 going into the second half. We'll have our halftime show straight ahead on CBC Gem.
All we gotta do is win. So if they sleep on you, tuck them in. Meet me at the top. If you bought, I'll drop my pen. So many stars in the making, thank you, sing. Eyes on the prize, I say passionate. I got the sauce like Diana, vision like medicine. They say patience is a virtue, so I went around the world and back again. Now NSL be on the map, no more imagining, it's happening.
Cho, she's a player that comes in with great experience. It's almost like having another coach out on the field because of all that experience and her technicality, her high IQ.
You've had such a good career. Why did you want to come to this league?
I've been opportunity to play in many different countries, and I'm always looking for new challenges. For football, I think the league is quite demanding physically. It's an exciting project with a lot of potential, so I think it's a good decision.
Cho So-hyun! Oh, dipsy doodle dandy, yeah!
What can fans expect to see from your game?
I'm a player who likes to connect the team. I just wanted to show my leadership, share my experience.
She just has all this experience that like what professionalism should look like. And those are the things that we take as a new league and a new team.
You've played for your country a staggering number of times.
It's something I'm proud of. I think Korean players are known for hard work.
I'm like, oh, okay, so what was your experience playing like here? She's like, oh, I actually played there and here and here and here, and I went to 3 World Cups. And I'm like, that's like crazy.
Is it true that you eventually want to become a general manager one day, that's a goal for you?
Yeah, I'd love to work as a general manager in South Korea. I wanted to learn team building and help my country and share my experience from here.
The vocal part of it is coming, but even just to see the way that she acts and the way she carries herself is huge for us to learn from.
Huh. We've already got tons of WestJet points.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we?
I'm booking it.
Your next travel story is waiting. Make it happen with the all-new WestJet Rewards.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. It is Pride match at the Wanderers grounds between the Halifax Tides and AFC Toronto, who are up because of a goal thanks to Kaylee Hunter in the 12th minute. Well, let's take you through what happened in that opening half, Amy Walsh, and it started with the 18-year-old from Calgary.
And this is all engineered by the run of Novak that pulls players central, rides out a tackle, and is just able to get a pass, slip it in for Kaylee Hunter. And when she's at her best, she's marauding, she's menacing, and she's decisive with her finishes. And that's exactly what she does there. Doesn't need a second, doesn't need a third look. She finishes that and puts her team up.
But Halifax had some opportunities. They get in the attacking third and then faced with the wall of AFC Toronto defenders.
Yeah, we've seen AFC tweak their system a little bit where they're sitting back a little bit deeper, but their 1v1 defending has been on point today. It's been top class, whether that's Barnett on one side, Burns on the other, or Small in the middle of the park. And Manor there cleaning up the mess, but Sarah Rollins is shepherding things at the back. And then when the Tides have really pushed, and this is a great little bit of play here between Valorant and Rhodes, a good first touch, but they're moving away from the box. They need to keep attacking the box, but Natty needs to be available for the ball at her feet, swinging earlier balls. We've seen them put AFC Toronto under pressure when they're playing quicker. The tempo is faster. Otherwise, it's a little bit pedestrian.
Beautiful sunny day in the Wanderers grounds. And let's take a look at our first half statistics. The Tides with a slight edge in possession and shots, but anything like that stands out to you in this opening half, or is it pretty even?
I think that you've got AFC Toronto who's looked the more threatening side because they're going fast in transition. There's more purpose to the way that they're playing, more verticality to their game, whereas the Tides have looked a little bit slower, and they need somebody like a Benatti as that creative player who's going to unlock a deeper line defense, because right now they're sitting comfortably in their shape. They've got the lead, and they know things are just going to open up now as the Tides are forced to chase the game.
Our halftime show continues on CBC Gem when we come back. it to Hunter. Hunter going 1v1, looking for the strike. Oh!
I think from the moment I was 3 years old and I first touched a soccer ball, that's where it all began. There's not a day that, like, if it's a bad day, go play soccer. If it's a good day, go play soccer. Everything just turns to soccer. I've always kind of been the youngest on whatever team I play on. I think I come from a family of 3 older brothers, so I'm kind of used to being the youngest. I moved away when I was 15. That's when I moved to Vancouver, so it was a young age, and it was definitely a sacrifice leaving my family behind and kind of fully committing to the sport. Even like I was at 15, I didn't know what kind of future that I had in it, but it was a sacrifice I was willing to make because I love the game so much. Definitely being with AFC, an older group of girls, I think gaining a lot of experience from the people I'm surrounded with has been super helpful. I enjoy being the youngest, and there's always jokes around that, but I think once I'm on the field and like the way I perform, I think I hold myself to high standards, and when you would watch, you wouldn't think that I'm that young.
Kaylee Hunter's super secret power is confidence. I think the confidence that she brings, like not being scared of anything at that age, is something not a lot of people know or see, or they just assume she's older because of the way she carries herself.
I think people looking at me as the future, I think it's a kind of motivation, being that they look up to me now, but me in a few years, if I keep on going the path that I am, how much I'm really capable of and how much I can change this game. So I try to focus on that and just being an inspiration for young girls and people around this country who realize that this league and what we're building here in Canada is so massive, and that this is only the beginning, that there's so much more potential for us, and it's only going to get bigger as the years go on. So I like to kind of be that person who people can look up to, and yeah, it's just a huge honor for people to say that about me, and it's something that I want to continue to be able to do for people, is allow them to look up to me.
Welcome back to the Northern Super League, presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. Well, we know Victory, the song by Tiffany Cameron, the anthem of the NSL this year. But you know what? There's a budding musician on AFC Toronto by the name of Zoe Burns, and she's got a song of her own. Everything is better in the 6.
Everything's better in the 6. Because a hard luck city, where the streets aren't pretty. Under blinding lights, we own the fight. Think you're gonna take us down? We run this town. Step to this, I think you know you're gonna miss. Everything's better in 6. Will the champs, we don't miss. Say something's up, take your pick. Everything's better in 6. Will the champs, we don't miss. Say something's up, take your pick. Everything's better in 6. Will the champs, we don't miss. Say something's up, take your pick. Everything's better in 6. Will the champs, we don't miss. Say something's up, take your pick. They talk cause they don't understand it. I don't got time to explain it. I won't debate it cause everything's better than 6. I got my girls right beside me. There ain't no bar that we can't reach. We up on top like humanity. Everything's better than 6. Will the champs, we don't miss. Say something's up, take a pick. Everything's better than 6. Will the champs, we don't miss. Say something's up, take a pick. Everything's better in the sand and the next. Everything's better in the 6. Yeah. Everything's better in the sand and the next. Everything's better in the 6. Everything's better in the sand and the next. Everything's better in the 6. Yeah. Everything's better in the sand and the next. Everything's better in the 6.
Finishing off the season with a win.
Everything's better in the 6.
Catchy for sure. WestJet, where the game takes you, features NSL players' journeys. This week, we look at Sid Kennedy and her path to joining the Halifax Tides.
Where I thought I was at in my career was that it was pretty much finished, to be honest with you. I finished up at Acadia University. I used my COVID year there, played with my sister, and then alongside my best friends, and I was like, what a way to go. Like, this is a good way to go. To me, there's no opportunity past that. Of course, I would have loved to dream of to play in a domestic league, but unfortunately, it took too long, quite frankly, for us to get one. Once it did become a thing, I realized that my career definitely wasn't over and that I wanted to stay involved. I remember I got a call probably from Emmett with the Tides, and he kind of presented the idea of going to a showcase because that was the first step. I had been out of soccer for a while, so it was more of like a, we want to see you play, just to like make sure we remember how you play. And so I showed up and it went really well, and then from there they wanted to sign me, which was amazing. When I got the initial call, it was like what do I have to do to get there? Like, I will do whatever it takes to play on this team at home in front of all my friends and family. I put in a lot of work, I think, both mentally and physically, to get to being here, and I think younger me would have just been so happy that it paid off. To play for my hometown club is an absolute dream come true. I get to be kind of a role model for the younger girls in Nova Scotia that now get to see a league, not only in their country, but like right in their backyard. Obviously getting to play in front of friends and family and coaches who have had an impact on me growing up. I always say we have the best fans in the country, and I know I'm biased, but like truly the family feel in the East Coast is like unlike anything else in the country, and they always rally behind us. They always show up no matter the weather, no matter what. I look at it as that we owe them something. I would say they deserve more than what we gave last year, and like that's just putting it like straight up. We want to win games. Like, we're aligned with what they want. We want to bring a championship back to Halifax.
Second half between AFC Toronto and the Halifax Tides, straight ahead from the Wanderers grounds in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Welcome on board our new Triangle Rewards and WestJet Rewards partnership.
Prior to earning, ensure your accounts are securely linked. In the event you shop or fly with us, earn Canadian Tire money and WestJet points on all eligible purchases. Breathe normally and secure your own rewards before assisting others. Take a moment to locate where you can spend once and earn twice. Link today and watch your rewards take off.
This is quite a game. It'll be a free kick. Oh, what a goal! And emotion overflows.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO.
Welcome back to the Northern Super League, presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. And our coverage on CBC Gem, I'm Signa Butler alongside Canadian Soccer Hall of Famer Amy Walsh for today's call. There is your goal scorer, Kaylee Hunter. She scored in the 12th minute of the opening half. Second game in a row she scored, and Halifax looking for answers in this second half, perhaps from their captain, Sarah LeMiller.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Sarah LeMiller, Sid Kennedy be as influential as their team needs them to be. And that part of the reason why that's happening is the really good organized defense, the team shape of AFC Toronto, but it's also the fact that the wide players in Barnett and Burns are successfully pinning back Allen and Valeron. So if they can get higher up the pitch, you start to see some wide overloads happening and you get Kennedy and Miller into the game.
AFC Toronto will kick off this second half, the battle between the 4th place Toronto team and the 3rd place Halifax Tides. No substitutions for either side to start the second half, as Colby Barnett takes the ball inside. Small switching play through Novak. Cleared away by Allen. Benatti was looking to chase after that, but Rollins gets it back to Sophia Manor.
see the shape of the Tides really stretched right now, and that's really early on in the second half.
Wickers wins that ball back across to Cho.
Sorry, Sigs. The game will open up because eventually you're going to have to see the Tides throw numbers forward, but they don't want to do that as soon as the second half starts. Like, they have to show a little bit of composure, a little bit of urgency as well, but keep enough in the tank that they can be calculated in the way that they're attacking the game.
Throw back to Rollins, to Brewster. He's got two former teammates on the Tides. Julianne Valeron and Annika Leslie played in West Virginia together. Wickers trying that direct ball forward to Rhodes. They'd love to get her activated in this second half. Benatti finds Valeron. Valeron looking to operate on that right side with Miller. Miller blocked twice by Cathro. Cathro tried to get a piece of her. That's to Jordan Rhodes. Couldn't get the shot off. It was blocked. And the second shot over top.
That was really well done because really that was out of nothing. There were no numbers. There's a disconnect right now with the numbers around the ball, and Sarah Miller does so well to kind of bully her way forward and get that ball to the feet of Rhodes, and they come very close. Probably their best opportunity so far this match.
Rollins turns back under pressure. Very composed.
It's just too easy right now for AFC Toronto to break this half-hearted high press by the Tides.
Valeron looking for Miller. The call goes AFC Toronto's way. Milanovich's team finding those forward targets quite easily. Cardoza fights Hunter off the ball. Here.
That's offside, but that type of play is what the Tides need more of. Straight up the middle, get Lemire on the half turn, and instantly play a ball up over the top. And then you get Kennedy involved. We saw Sarah Miller involved in creating opportunities basically from jump in the second half. You need more of that from the Tides.
Brewster again looking over top. It's too long. Foster Inman picks that up. And Halifax moving forward.
And part of the reason why you're not seeing the forays forward that we typically see from Allen and from Valeron is because Novak and Rowe are pulling so wide when they're attacking and they're building.
Kennedy in for Rhodes, bodied off the ball by Rollins. Rollins does well there, well defended. Lemire. Slows it down to Wickers. Cho trying to play in combination. Does get the ball back. And here's Allen. Cuts back inside. couldn't find the cross in, and Halifax patiently turns back.
Now you've got numbers, 4 versus 3 in this left flank, but stay there. Go at them.
Rollins and Rhodes getting tangled up again. And blown down by referee Selma Flores de Roche.
That's a great initial step and read by Sarah Rollins. Plays with great composure that belies her years.
Just 21 years of age, Toronto product. Here comes Lauren Rowe racing down the right flank. Cheyenne Allen in pursuit. And the slide wasn't there, but manages to draw a foul on Rowe. Rowe talked about playing in front of some friends today who made the trip from Cape Breton to watch her play. They played at CBU together. Rowe overcame 2 significant injuries during her U Sports career, a broken leg, a torn ACL, and finds herself on AFC Toronto. Here's Benatti. A little too heavy. Novak can't clear it out away. Cho. Cross in. Manner's got a fist on it.
Just didn't connect with that properly, but the line-breaking pass earlier to start that attack from Lemire to Benatti, need to see more of that. That instantly opens things up for the Tides. So the decision-making then on that final ball, that final pass, because Julia Benatti had numbers in the box. She had help around her.
Brewster, the deep option to Rollins. Rollins over top. Cleared by Cardoza over the head of Kennedy. There's Katie Barrett filling in today for Stephen Hart on the sidelines. Shoulder check to see where Hunter was. Out to Valeron. They've kept Valeron in check today. It's Barnett. Cardoza will go all the back to Foster Inman. Miss hit by Cho.
And this more direct Route 1 approach that we've seen AFC Toronto have success with has worked out, but you're bypassing the midfield a lot of the time, so there's good defensive work being done by Small and Stratigakis, who's dropping back a little bit deeper and helping with that defensive shape and structure, but you're bypassing her a lot of the time because a lot of these breaks, these opportunities are coming from longer balls by Brewster or by Rollins and looking for that opposite side winger.
Valeron does well to bring that down. Rollins looking for Cho, a little too much mustard on the pass. Miller, Valeron, Rhodes playing in combination, looking for Miller, and Manner off her line.
And a rare miscue by Small creates that attack for the Tides that are able to go quick, up, back, and through, trying to release Sarah Miller again, but just a little bit too heavy on the pass.
Direct ball over top, right in between the Halifax center backs. They had to clear that out.
A I would argue Cardoza had way more time than she thought there. Maybe the communication from Foster Inman was that she was under pressure. Could have checked her shoulder herself and easily walked that out of her own defensive third.
AFC Toronto maintains possession. Small switching the pitch to Barnett. Barnett going 1v1 against Valeron, wins that battle, gets the cross in, headed away by Cardoza, right to Burns. Burns had a half cross in, and the shot goes out for a goal kick.
That's it. I think she was between two minds, had a little bit too much time on the ball, took a long time to bring it down and to settle it, and when she finally decided to square it, it was more like a shot instead of a pass that was going to set Hunter up with the shot herself. Just lacking a little bit of composure in the final action.
Manor sending it long again. Well, won by Novak and gets it to Hunter. Hunter's cross, that's in dangerous territory, and Foster Inman spilled. Lemire got it out of trouble. But here's Barnett. And Hunter again, alone! Hunter! Stopped by Foster Inman. It's not out of trouble yet, my goodness. Cardoza got a late touch there and saved it.
And chose finally the release valve to try to get the Tides out from under that pressure, but they created their own problems there in their own defensive area.
Benatti cuts inside. Couldn't get the pass, threaded through to Rhodes. And Hunter keeps this alive on this side. Allen, nice little pat on the back.
A little bit of a condescending pat on the back.
Yes.
You tried for the Meg, Hunter, but it's not happening today, at least not on me on the touchline. But yeah, the AFC Toronto putting the Tides rather under all kinds of pressure. And a poor touch by Lemire there almost gifts another goal to AFC, but they're able finally to clear their lines through Cho.
Cardoza had that block just in time. See Toronto pushing the pace. Small cuts it back. Burns looking inside. This is nice from AFC. Here comes Hunter. Had the shot. It was blocked.
Strategakis, I believe, in an offside position on that ball across. Well done by Valorant to hold her line there, but again, the things that don't take much talent to do on the pitch is the effort, is the defensive work, is winning those first and second balls. And AFC Toronto started the second half much the way they finished the first, is that all over the pitch, the loose balls, the 50-50s have been won by Toronto.
Approaching the 60th minute, we'll probably see some substitutions. We saw warming up along the sidelines here at Wanderers grounds. We'll see if anything can turn the Tides in this game one way or the other. Benatti. Kennedy cutting it back. The back heel to Benatti. Benatti shot into the arms of Manor.
Just two inside. We've seen Benatti a couple of weeks ago score from that position where she's looking to go back post and she surprised the goalkeeper. That one didn't have enough sting on it to surprise Manor, but needed to pull it out a little bit to connect with bodies that she had available on the second post.
AFC Toronto pushing the pace of this game, moving the ball quickly. Here's Rowe. Knocks it in for Burns. Burns cuts it back. The cross. Headed to Valeron. Here's Novak. Tried to have a go. And Hunter. A nice tackle by Wickers.
Slip.
and cleared away, but AFC Toronto, just a little bit of tic-tac-toe.
So many opportunities right now that are as a result of what you said, Signa. AFC Toronto pushing the pace and the tempo and being unrelenting in the way that they're attacking, but defensively the Tides have not looked very convincing.
Benatti will exit the game for the Halifax Tides, and into the game comes Megumi Nakamura. Nakamura, the leading goal scorer last year with the Tides with 5 goals. Last action was May 13th, so Nakamura healthy again. Ready to return to this lineup as Lemire is put under pressure. Nice little story about Nakamura, actually. Interim coach Katie Barrett learning a little bit of Japanese to help with the communication with Nakamura, which is a nice little story there. Small winning the ball. Burns will go back to Manor. AFC Toronto preparing 2 substitutions. We'll get that for you in just a moment. As Nakamura wins the ball back from Small. That's Miller. Miller playing in Rhodes. Rhodes, the shot off the crossbar. Jordan Rhodes was a player that Marko Milanovic said they had to be careful of, and she had an opportunity here.
Again, the feet of Sarah LeMiller perfectly weighted so that Rhodes can just step into that, and I think that was the right decision. I think she could have squared the ball, but I think you're a player like Rhodes, you go for goal there, and I don't think her teammates have an issue with that, and she smashes it off the woodwork.
2 substitutions here for AFC Toronto. Jordan Brewster exiting the game for Kayla Hansen, and that is Esther Okoronkwo. We talked about her off the top of the show, returning to action just her last game against the Vancouver Rise, but she had been out since injuring her meniscus against the Tides back in early May. But great to see her back and what she provides AFC Toronto in terms of a target. Already going to Esther immediately.
We saw that with Esther last year, coping with injuries or being on managed minutes. Whether she starts a match or she comes on as a finisher, as a substitute, she impacts the game instantly. It's like she doesn't need a runway to insert herself into the conversations, the narratives of the match. She's right there, she's ever present, and she's a threat as soon as she steps on the pitch. Argue she might be more valuable as a substitute late in games because she's fully engaged. A knock on her last year by your own coach was that she kind of floated in and out of contests. But when she's at her best, they want her as a starter.
Getting ready for the Africa Cup of Nations, in later July. That taking place in Morocco. So Esther Okoronkwo will be in service for the Nigerian team. Super Eagles.
Dare you to come up with a better name for a sports team.
I'll think on that for a second. Hansen cuts the ball back away from Kennedy. Vickers, timely touch there because Stratigakis was on the move. Novak winning the ball to Small. Switch of play now. Okoronkwo. Against Miller. Okoronkwo still moving forward. Cuts inside. Back to Novak.
Hansen with tons of space over there. Or is that Barnett? Barnett on the left.
Barnett indeed. Cutting inside, has Hunter. 2 slide tackles to get the ball out of danger, but it's Small. Top of the box. Burns. Long cross in. And it was a swing and a miss from Barnett. Okoronkwo toying on the sidelines. Hunter the touch back, and Novak couldn't get all of it. Foster Inman gobbling up the ball.
So the longer this continues, where you've seen AFC Toronto very front-footed, able to produce some really big chances, but they're unable to capitalize, this is when you see the momentum swing to the home side, where maybe on a break, the Tides are able to come up with the equalizer. Novak's had a couple of opportunities, one from at the top of the 18 where she slipped, and that other opportunity about 13 yards out, right around the penalty spot, where she should have buried it.
Barnett has some time on that side. No one's shutting her down just yet. Stratigakis with a move. Driving towards the end line, has Esther. Look at that, 4 players converging. And the ball over top. So some opportunities for AFC Toronto to pad their 1-0 lead. And the Tide's able to hold them off, at least right now.
It's vital with all these opportunities that they're able to double their lead at this point. Or as I said, they leave themselves open for perhaps a break going the other way, but that was good defensive work, good command of her box for Foster Inman, and then good conversion around the ball to prevent something happening with Esther Okoronkwo.
Miller. It's over the shoulder to Valeron. Gets Barnett. Goes back to Cho. Cho, lovely turn. Cardoza and Wickers. Allen forced back. Cardoza moving forward. Trying to penetrate up front. Allen over top. Has Nakamura. Battling at the touchline. The ball back to Rhodes. Rhodes, the shot! Just by that top corner again. That's better from the Tides, better battles.
Better ball movement, looking to try to manipulate the opponent. Nakamura finally gets a touch, and it's an important one, and then it finds the feet of Rhodes, and some nifty footwork from her. She's able to find a little bit of space to get that shot off and doesn't miss by much.
Substitutions awaiting in the wings include Kat Jordan. We have not seen her since the beginning of the season because of an upper body injury. That will insert some quality into that midfield for the Tides. Cho. Valeron lets it run. Hunter, defensive effort, but gets called for the foul. Not happy about it. A free kick for Halifax. 20 minutes to play.
And you saw that spell of possession and how much confidence it gave this team. And Hunter maybe just the wrong leg going into the challenge with Valeron. And the Tides are able to win a free kick in the attacking third. So a little bit of a shift here in the semblance of control of this match. Toronto are unable to double their lead with tons of opportunities in the last 10 minutes. Can the Tides push forward here and try to get the equalizer?
20 minutes to play at the Wanderers grounds in Halifax. It is the home side looking to equalize against AFC Toronto. Karima Lemire on the ball. Lemire searching out her target. The ball over top. Esther heads it away, out for a corner. So Okoronkwo defensively making sure no Tides could get on the end of that cross from Lemire. There'll be a corner kick here for Halifax.
It didn't miss by much. Just slightly overhit, maybe lofted a little bit too much by Lemire, but that's put in the right area where that corridor of uncertainty where it causes Manor to question herself. Does she stay? Does she go? And Okoronkwo is able to nod that out of trouble, but the Tides earn themselves a corner kick.
In swinger from Sarah Lemiller. Goes short to Lemire. Lemire, the cross. Again, Manor's got to punch it away. And Burns is there making sure to shepherd that to the side, and Nikki Small, who, by the way, just picked up a yellow card for dissent. Allen gets the ball first. A little bit more jump in Halifax's step right now. Nakamura.
Better pitch balance now by the Tides. Earlier on looked like two lines, a line of defense and a line of attackers, so much too flat in their team shape.
Barnett, nice defensive effort there on that header backtracking. The ball will go out for a Toronto throw. Substitutions coming into the match for Halifax and for AFC Toronto. First, we will see Sid Kennedy exit the game, Stella Downing in. And Sarah Lemiller out of the match as well, and Kat Jordan, as we mentioned, into the match. Played with Santa Clara the last 2 seasons. Former teammate of Colby Barnett, by the way.
It'll be interesting to see if she stays in that right flank, and then it'll be a great 1v1 matchup of 2 former Broncos.
And 2 substitutions for AFC Toronto. That's Linda coming into the game. Under 20 Ghanaian international, has shown some liveliness for AFC Toronto. And Chloe Udenberg also into the match for AFC. Foul called against the Tides. Ball played over top, and Allen gets fouled by Hunter.
It's been a great battle all match long. Just clumsy by Hunter. Never really contested that duel, just 2 hands in the back of Allen is easy call for the referee.
You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. It's the Pride match at Wanderers grounds, where the Tides find themselves down 1-0 to AFC Toronto on a goal from Kaylee Hunter. Trying to tie things up, here's Megumi Nakamura.
Fabulous ball by Allen to find Nakamura into space.
Jordan, the cross in, and headed away, out for a corner kick.
Looks like the Tides are finding those spots, those vulnerabilities, and chinks in the armor for AFC Toronto, much the way they found them in the Tides defense in the first half. That long ball, same channel or slightly inside from wide areas. Space to exploit.
Lemire. It'll be an outswinger from Lemire. As Salma Flores de Rocher speaks to the players inside the penalty area. Lemire floating to the far post, headed down. And Downing, it took a deflection. And here comes Okoronkwo. Just tumbled. And Uddenberg will be called for a foul there on Downing.
Yeah, instant impact by Stella Downing always brings the energy to the contest, but a little bit of a strange one there where Okoronkwo was hunting that ball down and just seemed to throw herself at the ground. A bit bizarre.
So again, it'll be Lemire on the ball. Banner has had to come off her line a few times and punch some of those crosses away.
This needs to be a flatter delivery.
Again, it's high. And a collision there between Manor.
I think that's Cardoza.
And Cardoza, you're right indeed. Cardoza appears ready to get up on her feet.
That ball swung in. It's maybe just a little bit too tight to that 6-yard box, but that is a coming together. They just clatter into one another and hit the ground.
Sophia Manor, who has held the fort today for AFC Toronto in some duress there as the medical staff come out to check on her. Cardoza seems all right. Well, don't forget to wear your colors loud and proud. As we mentioned, it's Pride Match in Halifax. And you can get your hands on the limited edition NSL Pride tee at shop.nsl.ca. Although everybody's kitted out here at the Wanderers grounds. I have one of the original ones.
Do you?
I do. I do. The original one where this one is based off of.
There you go, you're
There's
an
a
OG.
flex. There's a flex.
I know, a little bit. I love all the Pride merch all across the NSL, the
So
different
nice.
clubs, the different iterations of it. I want all of the Pride merch.
So Halifax Tides and AFC Toronto have about 12 minutes and change left in this match. Great day to bring a family out to watch some football.
One of the best spots in Canada to watch a match.
And Sophia Manor back on her feet, and that's good news for AFC Toronto. A heavy collision with Naya Cardoza moments ago.
That's the ball, though. Karima Lemire's had a couple of opportunities at it. Similar position from the right and the left. Just in that half space, and that's the type of service you need.
Jordan Rhodes. Does she have room for a shot? She does. Manor's up to the task. Not much on that. Hunter up for the header. Here's Nikki Small. Hunter, it's like a magnet to her feet. Wanted the call, didn't get it. Has the game's only goal, Kaylee Hunter. Happened way back in the 12th minute. Cho and Valeron. Valeron looking inside, has Rhodes. And a foul there.
Rhodes has put in a real shift today for the Tides, doing so well to create opportunities for herself out of nothing, but also dropping off that front line into that space, providing that link-up play and drawing fouls.
10 minutes to play. Lemire's kick over top, that's nice, and nearly at the end of it was Naya Cardoza.
That was it, Signa. We talked about Lemire refining that technique in the weight on the ball, in the area that she's trying to pick out. It comes very close. You got Wickers coming in further on that back post, but that lined up perfectly for Cardoza. Just doesn't connect.
So a prime opportunity for an equalizer for Halifax. Small draws a foul on Cho, who's voicing her displeasure.
And I just finished singing Jordan Rhodes' praises, and then heavy touch there, well read by Nikki Small. And then it's going the other way for AFC Toronto.
Nakamura and Downing combine to win the ball back. It's 2 versus 3. Stella Downing holding the play up. And finds Cho. Kat Jordan. Jordan. Left-footed player, watch out for that. Here's Cheyenne Allen. Cuts it back. Unexpected cross. Lands to Cho. Jordan. Tried to find Rhodes, who goes down at the top of the box, crumples. And Okoronkwo off to the races. Holds up play just to have some more targets. It's by Cardoza. Okoronkwo. Always a little bit of cleverness, right?
Able to win it
a
back.
couple tricks. Downing gets that ball quickly. A mess of wickets there. Linda, look at that fancy footwork, earns the foul. So Linda, fresh off her 20th birthday, earning a foul just outside the box.
A couple of great examples of players. First, Esther understanding what the game state is, gaining the territory, and then they're able to win the ball back through the counter press and the 1v1 ability. And the respect that must be given to a player like Linda. She's able to go forward, gets by a couple players. A little bit greasy as well, like tough to bring down, tough to track, and wins her team a free kick in a dangerous area. It's about 20 yards out.
Halifax establishing the wall. Kaylee Hunter getting a yellow card. And the deadly duo of Hunter and Okoronkwo on the ball discussing things.
I think from here, the right footer would be favored, just given the angle, but Esther might want to try to curl that around the wall and into that near post.
Esther tried to get it by the wall. The wall does its job. And slid out of bounds. It'll be an AFC Toronto throw. Just over 5 minutes here to play, plus stoppage time at the Wanderers grounds. AFC Toronto continuing to push. There's Esther. Okoronkwo, ball not taken away yet. Barnett. Just shielding the ball. Eating some time away, but out for a Halifax goal kick.
Now it's time for the urgency. Now the Tides have got to go. They have to throw bodies forward, be much more aggressive in their plans.
Rhodes goes up and wins it. Rollins pops it back up. Back up by Cardoza. Foul called on Rhodes. On Kaylee Hunter. Was looking for Hunter. Some confusion there. Downing tried to combine with Nakamura. Barnett been really active in this game, hasn't she? Ball bounces to the way of Lemire. Downing slips up.
Seemed to get the ball caught underneath her feet.
Allen retrieves the ball back to Wickers. She mentioned the urgency needed. Try and get a result at home. Are you seeing it yet from the Tides?
You're seeing it in fits and starts, but you're not seeing it consistently. And you're not really seeing it in the way that they're connected and they're moving forward to try to press effectively and win the ball back.
Substitution for AFC Toronto. It's the goal scorer, Kaylee Hunter, leaving the game. And Mia Fontana will come in. Hunter picking up her third goal of the season, second game in a row. She's found the back of the net and right now stands up as the winning goal with just 2 minutes to play plus added time. Fontana from San Francisco sees her 7th appearance of the season. Valeron. Long ball over top. Downing might have got a ponytail on it. Manor out to Burns. He'll stretch this side of the pitch. The pressure.
That last play for the Tides, the ball was right, hit into the right space, but a lack of communication, understanding between Downing and Rhodes. Should be Rhodes coming for that ball and then Downing making the run in behind on the flick.
Valeron back to Cardoza. Cardoza. Lemire. That's a long looping ball over top, and Manor will have no issues there. Let's see if there's any added time in this second half. As Manor sends it up the pitch. Esther and Linda combining. Linda looking for Fontana, takes a slip. And Valeron. Card given to Linda, I think encroaching on the ball before the free kick. 3 minutes of added time. And do the Tides have anything left in these final minutes? Try and get a result at home. Linda commanding, moving forward, cutting to her right foot. Linda, the shot goes wide.
So impressive, Linda there, just to keep possession, to keep the ball, her body in between the defender and the ball, to shield it and to still keep progressing up the pitch.
Manor sweeps that away. back to Foster Inman. Milanovic said Linda provides a spark whenever she steps on the pitch. She's still acclimating to the team. But you do see that energy that she brings. Very skillful. Lemire. Can't get it by Rollins. Nakamura. Tried to flick it on. Small is there. And into Okoronkwo. The tackle needed to be there from Cardoza.
A gorgeous ball into space by Nikki Small, doing what she does best, is intercepting, recovering the ball, conserving possession, and then releasing Esther into space to march her team up the pitch, further away from Manor and their own goal. It's perfect in the way of game management.
Another throw. Out for a goal kick. Time running out on the Tide's day.
Running out of time now to provide a response, a little bit of pushback to get forward.
The flick on from Rhodes. There's Downing. Flag up on the far side of the pitch. This might be the final kick of the match. Valeron kicking it up the pitch. No targets though. And that will be the game. It'll be AFC Toronto on the road thanks to an early goal from Kaylee Hunter in the 12th minute. 1-0 the final at the Wanderers grounds. And for AFC Toronto, their current run of form over the last 6 games, they are continuing strong.
This is a masterclass in the way that you perform as the away side. You go in lively, you press, you attack, you find the seams to exploit. They did. You're decisive in your finish. And they didn't necessarily sit on their lead, but they had to absorb a little bit of pressure from the Tides, who went more direct themselves. And I thought the insertion, the substitutes that were made by Barrett and the Tides had an effect on the game, but then the fatigue seemed to take over, and there was very little pushback by the Tides at the end of the game.
So 1-0 the final. AFC Toronto on top thanks to that goal from Kaylee Hunter, unbeaten in their last 5 games. Let's take another look at that goal.
Well, Novak here, who had a little bit of an uneven performance, had some opportunities herself, plays provider and does so beautifully, draws all the players, all the Tides to her. 3 or 4 are ball watching. You release Kaylee Hunter in the box, and she does not miss from there. But we saw her a little bit rocky start to this sophomore year. Her second year as a pro, she's still young, but had to ride some ebbs and flows herself, but she's really found her form right now.
Statistics for today's game, pretty even in terms of shots and pretty much across the board for this match between these two teams. Again, with the win, AFC Toronto leapfrogging over the Tides in the standings.
And the Tides will have some tougher opponents. In their last 5 matches, they've played the lowly Calgary Wild 3 times. That's where 3 of their 4 victories come from. So tougher matches on the docket for the Tides, but a really well-managed game for the away side in AFC Toronto today.
So AFC Toronto going into 3rd place by a point over the Halifax Tides, who sit in 4th. Next matches coming up will be AFC Toronto and the Ottawa Rapid. Calgary and Vancouver, both those matches on Saturday next weekend. And on Sunday, the Tides against the Montreal Roses, who were big winners this weekend over Vancouver. Well, Kaylee Hunter had the goal today in the 12th minute, making it 1-0 for her team, and AFC Toronto strong defensively to get the clean sheet for Sophia Manor. Well, from Amy Walsh and myself and our entire crew, thanks so much for joining us on CBC Gem today for this NSL broadcast. We hope you can tune in again next weekend for more Northern Super League action.